through the outline of what I found to be a syndicated master list of the most frequently used color tones that you'll find me wanting to explore in the realm of leathers, exotic leathers, uh, the advancements in technological value to creating the perfect hues, correcting or revibrancing the colors of classic Hermes style. So you'll see that I cite these colors in the other parts of my work because, to my understanding of the syndical, it goes into a trifecta of this horizontal and vertical. So let me walk you through this little map. You'll see black is a really great thing for me. I love graphite. Um, and suede doubly is something that you'll see later on. So there is a differentiation that I wanted to make with the whites. So there is a gray that has a more natural tone to it, and there's one that has a little bit more of a softer cashmere look to it. So I cited this as Grease Pearl Suede Doubly, which is a warm white, and High Gray Suede Doubly, which is what I called a Yeezy white. These are all natural colors that they carry most often. So these two are more improved modern understandings of a color that they have, blue covert. And I'm not sure if this is new or not, but this vert covert was something that I found, um, which was like my perfect hue of the vert Boss 4 color that I was seeking out. Bordeaux is great, but in the next slide, I'll show you the new to us proprietary to American Vogue colors. Um, these two, this one reminds me of my mother. This one is my favorite color and something that I was assigned from Anna. Um, I believe she said that the tones of this natural white and this green, the Da Vinci Code, USD currency color, maturing wealth symbolism to it. Iton is my favorite version of an etoupe, and I wasn't exactly sure if Beton Matte Croc was approved for like actual consuming in its most final quality. Uh, Grisement is something that I found at Fendi. Then there's this other color that wasn't really coined yet, but is something that I found to be Anna's most mature, like garden green of a color. And then Grease Misty, which I wanted to uh, see if Hermes could do, is a slate blue gray. So it looks like an aged uh, blue here, but I think that as time has passed and they have learned to, you know, put in like hues of colors that don't distract from the dyeing of the scales, these are not very good explanations to what I want the full rendered color to be. But if you see right across here, the way that they've done it here, then this was something I was looking to see if it was even possible to correct into something new. Grease Mineral is also a really special color to me. Anna had sent me a doily on the Real of this aged Lady Dior bag that had champagne gold hardware that looked like it was like over 30 years old, and the scales of the exotic leather had uh, worn in from storage. And so uh, I've had this instance happen to me with one of my grandmother's handbags where it was originally, I believe, a yellow color. And because of the mold that grew, because she lived in a tropical climate, um, mold got into between the patenting veneer and actually re-dyed the bag itself to like this greenish color. So that's kind of what it reminded me of, a bag that I've seen in my past, as well as this doily that Anna had sent me from the Real. This is where you see the most uh, luxurious form of ginger in my portfolio, And I wanted them to go back into their ginger finishings of colors and achieve a metallic ginger shade for me. So we're in between these three colors right here. So these are makeup swatches. This one is a more flat version of it. So this one has like the undertones of brown. I wanted to have a little bit of like a top note of like this like rosy pink color. And this one is like very like almost Moscow Mule Cup copper situation, but I just coined it as chai spiced rose. This would have a very different look in a exotic. So I did want to look at this as a new sort of pinkish brown that would be super vibrant that I think would work really well in a family of browns that I'm not very comfortable with. But if it is coined like a ginger shade for a exotic shiny croc, then that was something that I was super excited to create, and it would actually give some sort of purpose to why I choose to wear browns in the future. I believe the closest color that you find to this type of brown in life right now is considered camel. So this is my general outline that would end up showing up in other brands as a part of the syndicate. Let me walk you through the new colors again. So this was just me showing that this is kind of the most perfect color that I saw, but I wanted it to be done in a shiny finish. This is the perfect grissamont that I saw. And what I wanted to create was a new raspberry color. So I actually have it here, and I didn't say anything, but I wanted to create a raspberry in Suede Dubli and Shiny Croc, and I coined it as a cold berry. So the difference between Bordeaux and raspberry is that raspberry is not a pink that we see at Hermes at all. It's not a pink that I see when I go towards their color swatches and my research. I haven't found the most perfect pink for me. There's the Rose Charizard, there's like Rose Potpourri. Okay, I'm not really naming it properly, but you know what I mean. There's like Rose Sakura. So it wasn't exactly the pink that I wanted to be made synonymous with if I was ever going to actualize a Vogue synonymous pink. So my version of wanting to product train this color to be is that I wanted it to be seen as the more romantic version of what a Bordeaux bag does for you. So a Bordeaux Shiny Croc has this like old Hollywood glamour to it, and I wanted the raspberry to be kind of the romantic like date that is also high octane. And I think by product training yourself to understand it as a new Bordeaux, that would allow this pink across the rest to be shown with a bit more endurance in a wardrobe as timeless. So that's why it's called a cold berry. And I just wanted to say that the technological uh, revision that you would have to make to this that is not really seen in Hermes's past is adding a base layer of a blue or a cold hue that would have it reach this very vibrant, high octane, dark raspberry color that doesn't look too bubblegummy, I would say. And then I said that like this Vert Vert was like this like promotion color that I got that solidified like the type of green that I would like to wear if I could, coming from this color. And then something that I saw could be a possibility is making Agno lime, lime. That is so blue jean. Agno lined bags, so lambskin lined bags. I wasn't sure if that was something that I really, but I put it in anyway just to see if that was something that we could work on. Over here is the color map again of me citing all the different whites. So going by this sort of scaling, most natural and neutral to having a little bit of a warm touch to it, and then ending off with this grease foam color. Grease mineral would have to be really different. So I've seen this in a Loewe bag in the past, uh, but as a suede dupli, actually, you know what? So as a box calf, that's where I saw it the most, being like future forward of like what an aged bag would look like. So instead of taking the time to like store a bag for decades, I wanted to see if they could accomplish and achieve a box calf color in this green, because I felt that it was very oligarchian if you don't, you know, make it in a quality that is type B and uh, is, you know, done like really amazingly. So I call this a light putty green, grease mineral. The next thing that I wasn't so sure about is this one that I call Fiesel Shiny Croc. And this one was something that I wanted to do based off of this doily that I saw on Elsa Hosk. And it is a more like trench colored Shiny Croc. But I wanted to see if they could take out the more utilitarian, like practical color tone to it and kind of bleach, or not bleach it, but make it similar to high gray. So high gray basically in a Shiny Croc that I called Fiesel. So that is something that is an important exotic skin color for me because it goes into one of the products that I make synonymous with Anna. But this is another Shiny Croc edit that I hadn't really seen from past like lots of it being achieved with what could have been made available in manufacturing 2 decades before. One other thing that I had requested from Anna is this crazy idea that I had, but I wanted to see if Hermes would approve of this. So I thought to have this be something that I share with a few people, but for playing on the safe side, I wanted to say that this could be seen as an experimentation again of new manufacturing, and I wanted this to be seen as an exhibition piece. So as an exhibition piece, I wanted Hermes to create satin Kellys. So made out of a fabric, that's one thing. And yeah, I don't know if Shantung is the right specificity that I needed for this color to be, but I just, not color, but this exact fabric to be. But I did like the idea of it having some sort of slight natural fabric grain. But what was important is that it didn't have much of a sheen and it shouldn't look like too satinated. So I wanted to look really natural. Basically, what I wanted them to do was create the lock holster with red diamonds. So I wanted them to see if they would be willing to work with Vogue and work with us to create exhibition pieces of Hermes Kellys where the holster of the lock is pavéed with red diamonds. So I saw this doily that I was sent to kind of give you an exact of like what it would implicate for the brand's design. So as you can see here, they have pavéed the holster, but you will not be seeing any pavé on the sanglets and nothing beyond just this little perimeter diameter of the holster. So these were the shades that I wanted to premise as being something that I could resonate with. So I chose this Tom Ford suit that I called Gris de Genève, and this reminds me of the blue of like, this is my blue. This is very much the me bag, very Princess Diaries of Genovia to me, very Cinderella, which is I think what fate had assigned me since before time. But the new shades that I found, if it could be produced for other people, was a mauve, so something of a very dusty purple. Tokyo Silver, which is something very personal to me, So I love wearing silver, and I think silver and red goes together for me. It's very cool and very futuristic, very masculine. Um, I just, in actuality, like I just wanted it to resonate with me as something that felt like natural to carry out in terms of the intent of why I chose certain colors. And the last thing is the last swatch is narcotic. So narcotic is very slightly pink. So you'll see here that it's not a neutral color. Um, it has very much the lightest tinges of pink that you'll see. Um, but yeah, that was uh, the one little ask that I had for Hermes, which was seeing if they would like to create a fabric Hermes Kellys with red diamonds for the holster. The last thing that I also wanted them to create was Vogue Kelly Double Tour watches. So the Kelly Double Tour watch is something that I had seen in my past, and so I wanted them to uh, bring back the vintage Kelly padlock and again do it in the double tour strap design with pave on the padlock and the sanglet and holster piece of work on the watch strap. The way that I saw the actual watch designed is on a black dial with no numerics, so I would not like to see the 3, 6, and 9 uh, I didn't want to see them implied, and I just wanted a blank face that said Hermes and Vogue with the dial hands. So this Cartier doily is the best thing to illustrate what I wanted out of it. This one not so much, but this one is the vintage sizing of it, and I got the idea based on these two things that I had found in the store. So the fact that they were creating jewelry like this, and hopefully in pink it would look really good on certain people. So this one is something that I had seen for one person in my life, one person that is a part of my past, one curl that I wanted to um, have this marketed with. So tapping her in as somebody to influence the design of this. And then I chose to have one for myself in the So Black range as just a black adenized white gold padlock for myself. Satin Kelly designs were just an idea that I had, so um, you know, for exhibition purposes only, is what I said, as a sampling of what the company might want to discover for themselves. The next thing that I wanted to ask for from Anna is whether or not I could create a photo essay for Hermes. So I just called it a photo exhibition that I would like to shoot in multiple cities. So that was for a new Leather Forever exhibition in Paris. So I wanted this exhibition to resemble the Leather Forever exhibition that I saw during one of my first brand activations with the brand when I was a teenager. And I wanted it to include a photo essay by me, as well as a few of the newer technological changes with Vogue as per certain modern colors. So I just wanted to walk through what this photo exhibition would look like for you. The first necessary thing for me was to have Kiko Mizuhara. I needed Kiko Mizuhara to fashion the Vogue Double Tour Kelly watches for me. And I wanted that to be shot at a home location in Paris, so very personal. The next one that is a little bit higher of a set is Victoria Beckham, and I wanted her as the leading lady in Of Mice and Men. So I wanted her to take all of her entire collection out of garderobe and have them placed in a stable in Paris. So I wanted it to have haystacks. I wanted to just have her lay out all her bread. And I felt like this was a very uh, docile way of showing an expression of a consumer that has spent a lot of commitment um, assetedly creating a collection that is one of the most enduring Hermes collections that I have seen in my life. The third set that I wanted to do was with my friend Fave and Hedda, and so I wanted them to recreate a moment in time that became one of the reasons why Anna had discovered me. So I wanted to shoot this in Gotland, which is in Sweden, and I had asked Anna if I could have this Hermes hack repainted by one of my high school art teachers, and it was an Hermes hack that was found at a auction in a sale that was a part of Lauren Bacall's personal collection. So Lauren Bacall is an assigned Holy Spirit of mine that Anna wanted me to uh, find some sort of discovery with, embodying like a polar opposite energy that could bring me some sort of comfort, security. Why I say this is because in a spirituality idea of everything, I felt like I come across like Jaja Gabor or like something like that, or like I could name like Sophia Loren, Audrey Hepburn. So in line with that kind of energy of access, I didn't know who Lauren Bacall was. So there's not an idolization of her, but where I'm getting at is just like, again, like it's better that you didn't know her so that the energy of the discography that she has could probably bring you the energy that you need to refine yourself. So that was something that I wanted hand painted by my art teacher, and I wanted to product shoot that in Gotland, as well as if we do end up creating a sample of a pocket hack uh, in the garden green grisement, so the matte croc leather, that was something that I found to be a really beautiful complement to the painted piece, and those luggage pieces again to be shot in Gotland. The next thing, which is another extraneous ask I have of Anna with Hermes, is to create a sample of Corten steel as a part of this Richard Serra series that I'm doing only with Hermes and the Row. So Corten steel is a type of steel that has seen wear, and it's just super special to me because you'll find that I really identify with uh, Richard Serra's story, his narrative, and it was a micro trend that I have permeating through the two accounts in my portfolio. But what was important to me also was the fact that in my maternal side of the family, which is the side that was genuinely Hermes consumers in their life, following the narrative of me not knowing that this was a part of my life, uh, the business that my grandfather did was in manufacturing metal. So I felt like that was actually a fairly compelling reason why I would like to negotiate for Corten steel being an exploration as another derivative of like a So Black edition. And I wanted that shot with my aunt Tinette, who was a really important formative person of a personality that I wanted, and I wanted to have her photographed with that in Manhattan. So the theme of this photo essay is Aboriginal. It's Aboriginal, it's just, that was the only word I could use to describe, so nothing too high octane, but something very home-like, nostalgic, reminiscent. The next person I wanted to shoot was Emily Radikowski, and I wanted her to be shot with another request that I sent Anna for Robert Nava to paint on an Hermes box calf hack. So if that gets approved, then I wanted Emily to wear that in Tokyo for some street styling that I would do for her. And with the approval of ginger metallic chev or ginger metallic in any type of leather being done, if it does get approved for an exploration in the lizard stripes, so the Club Birkin family, if we do find that in a Maxi Kelly, then that was another option that I saw as being a part of the exhibition. So basically, the lizard racing stripe Hermes collection is something that I idolize. It's something that's super cool to me. So being able to bring that back in one of my proprietary colors of ginger and seeing what we want to do for the center color and what we finalize as the color for the stripes, that would have been something really cool to me, shot in Tokyo. The last part of my photo essay would be shot in Tulum, Mexico. So we have we have France, Sweden, Mexico, and Japan. The last person that I wanted to engage is Nylea Devora, and I wanted her to be seen as a product courier for grease pearl leather. So grease pearl is the color that I was assigned, and being a production courier for that, I know that it's not produced in Mexico, but let's just imply it through the imagery. And I wanted her to debut the Mador Minimal bag, and I wanted her to use the Kelly as a courier bag, and I wanted to see if they could approve of reams of grease pearl leather to be shot as raw hides. So I imagined her carrying the leather. It reminded me of being in New York and running errands for a brand that you work for or you intern for. So it's a very fashion assistant type of vibe. And I thought that that was a really artistic and creative way to make something of an art piece for them. And I wanted that shot in Tulum, Mexico.